This is a stimulus check update and daily news report. Starting off with the good news, unemployment rates have plunged really low. Democrats are urging President Biden to extend that student loan cliff. When it comes to rental assistance, 2 cities have tapped out all of their rental assistance money in a few cities. I'll give you the details on that. I'll give you the latest stimulus check articles like this. Time's running out. Deadline for $1,400 plus up stimulus checks in 2 weeks. See if you qualify for cash now. The Build Back Better plan is looking grim. Talks are going poorly between Joe Manchin and President Biden. I'll play you 2 video clips of what's going on and how Republicans are jumping on the bandwagon that the Build Back Better bill is done and dead, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below, and I'm giving $200 to my subscribers. I'll talk more about that later on in the video, but first, unemployment rate plunges as employers add record jobs post-lockdown. So employers add twice as many jobs as predicted in November, taking unemployment rate down to 4.6%. So this is huge. Last month, the unemployment rate came in at 4.6%, a 0.6 percentage point improvement in October figures with 366,000 jobs added. So this is looking good over here. And then next, let's talk about how some cities, states exhaust rental assistance, stop taking aid applications despite demand. So what's happening here, as evictions rates rise across the United States, some cities and states have exhausted their rental assistance funds and can no longer meet demands for housing aid. Texas and Oregon have completely stopped taking new applications, with Texas having already allocated all of its funds. The city of Atlanta, Georgia has also stopped taking new applicants. There are other states that are close to running out of their money, such as New York and California, having spent it all or allocated it already. So it looks like that $46 billion that was meant for rental assistance is starting to go out. Some places are running out of it. Next, when it comes to the Build Back Better, Democrats are unlikely to pass Biden's social spending plan this year. Here's what it means. So as Senator Joe Manchin withholds his support, Democrats are unlikely to meet their goal of passing President Joe Biden's Build Back Better Act this year. The delay will have immediate implications as the enhanced child tax credit is set to expire, and Democrats could instead turn their focus to voting rights legislation. Failure to pass the plan could have broader long-term implications, not only on the country's social and climate policy, but also next year's midterm elections. So there's only a few days left that Congress could actually pass the Build Back Better bill. Senate and the House staying well into their winter vacation or their winter work recess period. Here's a video clip talking about how this could affect the child tax credit.
Joining me, a man who has been pushing this credit since the beginning, Senator Michael Bennet. Senator, thank you for joining me on this really important day. You know very well that rising prices are a huge issue in this country, and families have been receiving, on average, $430 a month from this tax credit. When it goes away, how are they going to handle it? Inflation's an issue.
It's going to be really hard for families, Stephanie, because we've lived in an economy for 50 years that's worked really well for the top 10%, hasn't worked for anybody else. People are using this tax credit to pay for rent, to pay for groceries, to buy school clothes for their kids, to pay for extracurricular activities for their children as well. And if this goes away in January, they're not going to be able to do any of that. And on top of it, inflation is cutting away at families' purchasing power.
Well, right now, it's not an if it goes away in January. It's going to. Build Back Better is stuck in limbo. Your colleague, Joe Manchin, wants to narrow how many people are getting it before expanding the child tax credit. Would you be open to that? He wants to revisit it, saying some people don't need the money.
I think that it would be a huge mistake to stop the child tax credit. 61 million kids are benefiting from it. We've cut childhood poverty in this country almost in half as a result. And as you just said, we've cut hunger in the United States by 25%. Somehow this place where I work here doesn't have any problem extending tax cuts for rich people all the time. But all of a sudden, we've finally done something for working people and for lower income people, and it's much harder to do. So I obviously have to, in part, convince Joe Manchin, who hates the child tax credit. He said that. We said, look, let's just do it for a year, Joe, so we can have the opportunity to convince you that this is actually a pro-work strategy, not an anti-work strategy, which it is. I talked to mom after mom after mom in Colorado who's told me that they're using the money to pay for daycare so they can actually work. And that's what the people aren't lazy in this country. They just need a little bit of help.
Then is the next move to make this an urgent standalone bill? As I said, Build Back Better is kind of in limbo here, and we both know, for whatever reason, Joe Biden's poll numbers are dropping. And one of those reasons is because of inflation. Do you need to take this bill on on its own to not just help the country, but also to help Biden?
Look, I would much rather pass Build Back Better. That's what we should be doing. We've had months and months and months to negotiate that bill in the Senate, and the time has come for us to do it. There are important things in there, like capping drug prescription costs for seniors at $2,000, capping preschool costs for parents at 7%. But if we are going to delay it beyond when the next tax credit is supposed to come out, which is in January, we're going to have to consider other options.
So what's the likelihood Build Back Better gets passed? I keep hearing you say should, I keep hearing you say want, but let's get real.
Well, look, we should pass it, there's no reason to delay, Stephanie, so I'm not going to stand here and say it's not going to happen. I think we should get it done by Christmas, and I think we should give families the certainty that we're willing to give the folks around this place that we've given tax cut after tax cut after tax cut. Stephanie, you know these numbers better than anybody else, but since 2001, we have cut taxes in this country by $8 trillion, almost all of that has gone to the wealthiest people in the United States. And here we have an instance where finally we're doing something for working people. We got to give them the certainty of making this tax credit, extending it into the next year, and I believe make it permanent.
Millions of families rely on those child tax credits, which may be ending. We'll know for sure within the next few days if the Senate and House, if Congress in general decides to go onto their winter vacation without taking up the Build Back Better bill. So going very poorly, Biden can't nail Manchin down on Democrats' bill. So the talks between President Joe Biden and Joe Manchin not going too well. One source is saying that the talks between Biden and Manchin have been going very poorly. They are far apart. If they're far apart as of now, they met, I think, a day or two ago in person. If they're far apart now, I don't think they'll ever get closer together. It's been months and months, several months, that they've been in contact, negotiating, and Joe Manchin just seems to have the upper hand in this situation. Joe Manchin flipping out. I mentioned this earlier. So Manchin yells at reporter, "You're bull stuff," saying it's bull stuff when being approached and asked about the child tax credit, how Joe Manchin wants to end it. He said that is not true. He is in support of the child tax credit. So this is sort of a little flashback to back in October, about 2 months ago, Manchin on Party Switch saying it's bull stuff. So when asked if he was going to switch over to the Republican Party, gets a little upset sometimes. Anyway, so when it comes to the Build Back Better bill, here is what the Republicans are saying about the Build Back Better bill and how it probably won't happen, saying that the bill is dead.
Build Back Better is dead, at least for now. NBC News reports that Senate Democrats will miss the year-end deadline. Couldn't muster the votes in their own party to pass the $5 trillion spending bill that promised to transform America. It's hard to overstate, what Democrats had at stake. With Build Back Better, it was to, yes, transform America, bringing every American institution and every American individual under the influence and dependence of Democratic spending. But also, at stake was their promise to save America, at least in their own minds. And by save America, of course, I mean save their re-election chances in 2022 and 2024. And so for 3/4 of a year, the sales pitch has been on.
We are hard at work on Build Back Better, which includes so many policies families need so very much.
I think Build Back Better is going to help build this country back better, and we're going to keep negotiating.
It's important for us to get the Build Back Better Act over the finish line.
For the American families to make it in the next year, we have got to make sure that Build Back Better is passed.
Build Back Better did not make the finish line. It stumbled right at the ribbon. And its death, by the way, is good news for Americans. Why is that? Because right now, this country is facing the highest inflation rate it has had in 39 years. And according to a brand new Fox Business poll released just an hour ago, it is inflation that is far and away voters' top concern, with 84% of Americans saying they are either extremely or very concerned about inflation. That's higher than high crime rates and COVID-19. And Americans know another thing. They know that Build Back Better would have been like throwing gasoline on a fire. 46% saying it would have pushed inflation even higher. But here's what's weird. For so much at stake for Democrats with Build Back Better, they barely seem to notice its death. They're obsessed right now on Capitol Hill and on cable news with their one true addiction, Donald Trump. They're obsessed with January 6th. They remain on this existential hunt to justify the 6 years they lost to their own insanity, and they keep coming back for another hit on that pipe. But Americans have noticed the junky behavior of the left. Look at Joe Biden's approval rating on everything from the economy to crime and education. Low, underwater approval rating on almost every big issue, certainly every issue that concerns Americans. But again, here's what's even weirder. Democrats sound positively confident that despite a reality that was quantified in those numbers, they sound confident they will crush Republicans in 2022.
Our country could not be better served than with this most experienced, capable hands than yours, President Biden. He's just perfect. The timing couldn't be better.
Now we look at 2022. I want to tell my Republican friends, get ready, pal. You're going in for a problem. Let me say this again for the president. We're going to win in 2022.
No Democrats have confirmed that the Build Back Better bill is dead or that it's not going to happen, but we're going to find out for sure within the next few days, so stay tuned for that. I'll keep you updated. Democrats urge Biden to avert student loan cliff next year, so student loan payments are going to resume February 1st, as well as the accumulation of interest, and many top Democrats are urging President Biden to continue that delay in student loans to be paid until further. They're also trying to get President Biden to cancel student loans with student loan forgiveness, following up on President Biden's promise during his campaign trail that he would forgive at least $10,000 for every federal student loan borrower. That hasn't been the case yet either. There's no talks or motions that the student loans will be extended past February 1st, not as of yet. When it comes to stimulus check news, so $500 stimulus check applications starting Saturday for St. Louis City residents. So if you live in St. Louis and your income is below $42,000, then you're eligible, or you can apply for you're eligible and you can apply for $500 stimulus checks on Saturday at the community college. And then this article right here, time's running out, deadline for $1,400 plus up stimulus checks in 2 weeks. See if you qualify for cash now. So IRS officials say that the stimulus checks will continue to be sent to households until December 31st. So there are 2 weeks left if you did not file your taxes and you want that plus up payment. The way that works is Americans whose income was lower in 2020 than 2019, they're entitled to receive plus up payments, and after December 31st, you can't have that plus up payment anymore. When it comes to a forced stimulus check for the $2,000 per month to every American on the change.org petition, currently at 2,982,000 signatures, no signs of a fourth stimulus check in any package or standalone. It looks like Democrats are struggling just to pulling at strings and strands here to get the Build Back Better bill across the finish line. Bare bones, they're gunning as much as they can from it to get anything done, let alone add any stimulus checks in there. So looks like stimulus checks may not happen. One thing that may happen, though, this is my own personal theory, is that the closer we get to elections coming up in 2022, they may waive stimulus checks as some type of bait for voters, which is what happened with the last election. May or may not happen in terms of the Congress elections there, midterms, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's more of a theory. Anyways, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hello guys. I just wanted to do something so nice for you guys because I know you guys are going to come on here. So guys, I just really love you. You guys make my day.
Thank you so much for watching. As I mentioned earlier, $200 checks. I will be announcing the winners in 10 days, I believe. I have all the details down in the description below. If you want to enter to potentially win a $200 check, I have details to that down in the description below. Just click the show more button down below. And hopefully, we'll have more better news over the next few days. It's been kind of rough. But anyways, if you want to check out my latest Wise Vibes video, click this link up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching. Be safe. Thank you for watching. Be safe. This is a stimulus check update and daily news report. Starting off with the good news, unemployment rates have plunged really low. Democrats are urging President Biden to extend that student loan cliff. When it comes to rental assistance, 2 cities have tapped out all of their rental assistance money in a few cities. I'll give you the details on that. I'll give you the latest stimulus check articles like this. Time's running out. Deadline for $1,400 plus up stimulus checks in 2 weeks. See if you qualify for cash now. The Build Back Better plan is looking grim. Talks are going poorly between Joe Manchin and President Biden. I'll play you 2 video clips of what's going on and how Republicans are jumping on the bandwagon that the Build Back Better bill is done and dead. And I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. And I'm giving $200 to my subscribers. I'll talk more about that later on in the video. But first, unemployment rate plunges as employers add record jobs post-lockdown. So employers add twice as many jobs as predicted in November, taking unemployment rate down to 4.6%. So this is huge. Last month, the unemployment rate came in at 4.6%, a 0.6 percentage point